the last day on set? Were there tears? Was it emotional? How did it feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was emotional. It was also like, you know, we had been shooting in COVID, and that is such a other challenge, you know? And so I think there was a massive feeling of just like, we did it. We did this amazingly hard task, and we did it as a team. And yeah, the pride like was overwhelming the sadness. You know what I mean? Because we just felt like we had like done something impossible.
Okay, I have to ask you about the sex scenes. Does that ever get normal? I mean, is it weird?
Yeah, it's always weird. It's never not weird, but I think you can kind of communicate yourself into comfort on some level. And we have really wonderful, like, you know, intimacy coordinators who help with that. And they kind of take the nerves out of it, because they're like, okay, do you want to kiss with tongue or not? Or, you know, like they just get into the nitty gritty.
I want to ask you a couple SNL questions. First one, working with people that aren't actors, because, you know, not everyone's an actor on SNL. That there's athletes that come on. Is that exciting?
I mean, I would say like one of my favorite hosts of all time was Charles Barkley, and he's not an actor, but he was so up for anything and like so naturally funny. And so that's kind of the fun of SNL, is like have a sports person in, have a kid come and host, you know, like my fantasy is to have a dog host the show.
That would be amazing. Final question. Who's your favorite cast member that you like to break?
I love when Keenan breaks, because he is just like the true old pro. And so, you know, when he's losing it, you're like in a good space. So I would say Keenan.
Awesome. Thank you, AIDY. I thought this season was awesome.
Thanks.
I love the show. Thank you so much. All right, AIDY. I feel like Annie kind of is coming into her own in this final season. It's been a buildup, but I feel like now she is just like a boss ass bitch. She gives zero fucks, and I'm all here for it. So, what are your thoughts on that, AIDY?
Oh, well, I'm honored for that assessment. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think this is like her season in a lot of ways. It's like the season where she can most be herself and kind of take some big swings for things. And it's not always working out, but it's definitely pushing her towards growth, which is good.
There's a scene that I loved. I think it was episode 3 of this current season, where you're getting advice on how to text the guy back, and everyone's like, oh, you should say that, and you're like, what do I say? So I want to know, in your own life, do people come to you for love advice, for texting advice?
You know, a little. I feel like I'm a little like common sense, no nonsense kind of. So I feel like people appreciate that about me, but I also, you know, like I didn't really date. Like I've been with my husband for a really long time, so I wasn't super in like the electronic communication world of dating. I mean, texting was a thing, but I wasn't on the apps, you know, so I'm not such a pro.
What are your thoughts on like have you heard any kind of love advice, like from your friends? Like, what do you even make of your friends that go through dating? Because it's fucking terrible, AIDY. I'm sorry. It's awful. What can you do to help us?
It seems really hard.
Yeah.
And I guess my main thing is like, if you feel like the vibe isn't there, it's probably not going to be there. So get out of there, you know? Because I definitely feel like I have lovely friends who are trying with the same person. And I think that's a trap.